fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and before I do begin, this is the watermark for this image. Abel Vera on DeviantArt. They own this picture, and I believe they did draw it. I did not. Now, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Izuku Midoriya, the human turned Saiyan, and self-protector of the planet Earth. He has fought against semi-perfect Cell. Now, Midoriya went beyond the limits of Super Saiyan, and he did actually use the Kaioken, using Kaioken times 4 and Super Saiyan on top of each other. Now, the great strain he put on his body was immense, but it appears that he was able to match Cell's full power at the time. Now, after Cell did watch Midoriya begin to tear himself apart, the moment he powered down, Cell actually went on the offensive, breaking quite a lot of bones in Midoriya's body along with sending him flying. Now, Midoriya, he then saw the moon, as he began to turn into a great ape. Now, Cell did not see Midoriya as much of a threat, before he turned golden. And his power level, it was quite a ways above Cell currently. Cell not really wanting to waste time, and he left. Now, we will pick up there. Kami is currently wondering, what are they going to do? Midoriya has lost all control of himself, and he does not appear to calm down. Now, Midoriya simply just begins to wreak havoc across the city, throwing around all the force he can. Now, Inko and Asashi actually do ask Momo if there's a way to take him down, since she might be the expert on all this. She does inform them of a way. However, it is going to be quite difficult. Now, they all used instant transmission in that moment, along with Bakugo tagging along, and Todoroki. They were informed that they have to keep Midoriya in place, and that does not really seem like it would be very difficult. Now, with that being said, Todoroki and Bakugo do somewhat make a plan. Bakugo is going to distract Midoriya, and Todoroki, he is going to try and keep him in place. Now, Hasashi and Inko also do need to make sure to keep Midoriya distracted, while Momo, she gets him. Now, with that being said, Todoroki and Bakugo do actually go flying in. As soon as Bakugo does get in close, he goes directly for Midoriya's eyes, bringing his hand up and quickly letting off large amount of explosions. This blindsiding Midoriya, as he does actually go to throw his arm outwards to hit Bakugo. Bakugo dodging out of the way, as Todoroki, he is standing on the ground, and he's beginning to charge up Ki Blast, or specialized beams, as he throws one out with his left side, or his right side. Now, as he does actually throw out this beam, it hits Midoriya in his leg, before Midoriya's leg begins to freeze over. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he actually does go to try and attack, trying to bring his leg up and smash all the ice off of it, along with actually going down to attack Todoroki. Now, Hasashi and Enko do actually somewhat intervene, them flying in and acting like flies around Midoriya. Now, as this is going on, both these two actually do pump themselves up to Kaioken times 100, before both of them actually are able to trip Midoriya over. With one leg already frozen, it was only a matter of time before he was done for. Now, after they were able to take Midoriya down or knock him off of his feet, in would come Momo. As Todoroki is freezing Midoriya's body over, Momo actually does go to slice off Midoriya's tail. Now, she is able to get a cut off, and Midoriya begins to slowly shrink back down. Now then, after that does happen, they do take Midoriya back to the lookout, where he is given brand new clothing, along with actually trying to rest. Now, Midoriya's body has underwent massive damage, and there is currently what he did do. Vados surprised to find that the boy is still alive. Now, with that being said, Midoriya will be out for a few days. And in this time, let us cut into the hyperbolic time chamber. Mina and Hope have been training. Now, their power levels are actually very close together. Hope at around 10 billion and fastly rising. Mina at around 15 billion. And these two are able to actually train more. Mina being able to have a training partner around her strength, where Hope, she is able to have somebody to help her and teach her about new things. Now, eventually one day whenever both of them are training and Mina does use her ultimate form, she is actually able to pull out Hope's hidden abilities. The power of Super Saiyan. Now, Mina was quite shocked to see Hope turn Super Saiyan, and it did come as a big surprise. Now, with that being said, whenever these two did actually take a day off, they were talking. And Mina did want to know exactly what is her quirk, and how is she a Saiyan? She's half Saiyan, right? Um, technically yes. Technically? What are you talking about? Plus, you're Melissa's daughter. So, that's kind of strange. Yeah. Now, Hope is trying to think. What is a perfect excuse for her to come up with? There's nothing good going on in her head. If she tries to simply just explain it, then she might sound crazy. Now, she does just simply explain parts of her future. Explain her own past. Now, she also does let it slip that she is somewhat of a science experiment. Explaining that she was actually created in a test tube before she was born. Now, Mina did find that to be a bit confusing. However, she doesn't know a lot about Earth technology to understand why that would be a bad thing. Now, eventually the entire truth does come out, and Mina is quite surprised, learning that apparently this is not only Midoriya's daughter, it's also her own. Now, these two did train quite intensely, and while they are going on the entire year of training, they are unaware as to what has been happening outside the room of spirit and time. Now, I want to say with Hope's current potential for growth, and that she has never done training like this before in her life, I'm going to have to lowball her. Now, with that being said, let us leave her as unlisted for right now. Meanwhile, after she and Mina do come out of the chamber, people are quite surprised at the drastic increase that their power levels have both underwent. Now, along with that, we do have Hasashi and Inko, who are quite curious about that thing Mina did a few days ago, whenever they first encountered Cell. Her explaining the ultimate form, after Vados does give them an okay. Now, Vados does explain the ultimate form is a power granted to her after she underwent the Elder Kai's training. However, the form itself is quite powerful, yes, but there is one slight drawback to it if they do want to achieve it. Now, Enko and Hasashi, they do actually decide to take this route. If they can get the ultimate form and then head into the hyperbolic time chamber, then they might stand a chance. Now, they are both then instructed that it will take 2 days for both of them to achieve this form. Already, that is quite interesting. So, it won't take as long as they expected. However, there is what Vados does say next. They are going to have to be off planet while they are waiting. And do they really believe that this would be the best option? Now, Vados just try and coerce them out of going to see Elder Kai. However, both of them are dead set on it. They thought that this might take a long time. They'd have to do some specialized training or something like that. They can do it in the hyperbolic time chamber, but hearing that it's just supposed to take a day, it's perfect. And they do actually begin to head over to that planet. Now, with all of that, the next two to go into the time chamber will be Bakugo, Kirishima, and let's say Todoroki and Kendo. Now, with them being cyborgs, I do want to say that they do have augmented metabolisms, and that it wouldn't take as much food to keep them all going. Now, you can correct me on that if you will, but I do want to say that the Earth Defense Force has at least put pre-established programs, or at least modified organs, into some of their candidates. Meaning that you can slow down a person's metabolism or speed it up in case you do need to. Now, with all of that being said, these four actually do head into the time chamber and begin their massive training session. Meanwhile, Hasashi and Inko do have to pass Elder Kai's test. Now, with that, let's say that Midoriya, he is out about 4 to 5 days. Now, after Midoriya actually does wake up and get onto his feet, he's quite surprised as to what's going on, as he does go to move his tail. However, he does find it quite peculiar. He doesn't really feel anything. Going down to look where his belt should be. Now, he's quite confused. finding that his tail is missing, and so beginning to freak out. Before Momo and Mina both actually do come walking into the room. Now, Midoriya, he actually just asks a question. Them explain that Midoriya turned into a great ape, and Momo asking Midoriya if that was the first time he has lost his tail. Hmm? Yeah. Why? Okay. Good. There is a way to grow it back, but for right now you just need to let it grow. If you lose your tail again, then you have to do a specialized technique that the Saiyans have developed. In fact, it's one of the reasons why our race is quite unique. Now, Midoriya actually does ask about Cell, to which both the two do actually look at each other, going on to state that Cell is still currently out there. However, Midoriya, he made Cell reveal more of his power. Damn it. Well, that's good then. Midoriya then going on to state that he needs to get back to training, before trying to power up. His key, acting differently. Before Vados herself does actually step into the room, explaining to Midoriya that he cannot do that. What are you talking about? Well, after your last incident with Cell, you pushed your quality quite beyond an extreme. Kaioken and Super Saiyan. Those two abilities should not have ever been mixed together. However, not only did you use them for a few minutes, you went further than you should have. Do you know what that means? No. You've damaged your body. In fact, not just physically but spiritually, meaning that your ki is going to take some time to recover. What? So you're saying I can't fight? Sadly, yes. In fact, your power is quite hard to detect. It feels like it is all over the place. Oh, come on. So I'm basically just useless. Well, what about everyone else? Now, Mina actually does go on stating that they do have Hope, Bakugo, and the other androids. And they actually have been training a lot. They went into the training chamber for about a year. Then, they came out. And they restocked it. Went back in again for another year. Before Inko and Hisashi did show back up. My mom and dad? Why did they leave? Mina going to talk. However, Vados cuts her off, saying that they were asking a few questions. So, they went to go ask them to the Supreme Kai, wondering if there was a way to defeat Cell. Telling him not to worry. Now, obviously Midori is going to worry. And he is informed that his parents have also been in the time chamber. Not just once, but they've gone in twice. Now, Midori is still surprised about that. And he actually does walk outside, going to the time chamber door, and simply just wondering, what is going on in there? Now, with all that being said, let us cut over to Cell. Cell has been absorbing more and more people. And in fact, he is on the verge of an evolution. He just needs to find the right parts. Then he will be complete. Now, with that being said, he does decide to attack another facility. And within this time of attacking a facility, he quickly makes quick work of the people here. Now, he absorbs many of them, and he does feel his biology change more, adapting to the advanced technology of this world. Now, with all of that, Cell does find another lab, and he walks in, wanting to know about any androids that are being reprogrammed or tinkered with. The lead scientist in the room trying to basically inform Cell that he cannot be here. Before Cell just grabs the man by his throat, informing him, quite angrily, that he is looking for androids, and he is looking for 17 and 18, demanding that the man pull up any record on them. Now, the man does try. However, they have nobody by those numbers in their current database. Cell actually walking over to a pod that is on the wall, and wiping away the mist on the window before inspecting the person inside, asking if this person is augmented. Yes, but please do not mess with them. And why exactly should I listen to you? If you open that up, there's a chance that they will die. Oh, are you giving me orders? What? No, I'm not doing that. I'm just explaining to you what could happen. Listen, they still need to be tinkered with. I'm adjusting a lot of things right now. Their instruments are very delicate. Say, what do you know about biotechnology? Biotechnology? What are you talking about? Well, I just so happen to have a few components I've been absorbing. And I've been wondering how I can fully utilize their power. Now, Cell threatens the scientist, and the scientist begins to conduct research. Cell willingly allowing the scientist to look and examine his biological makeup, along with actually scan him and try and adjust little things in his DNA. Now, that process would take a whole lot of time, and Cell does actually begin to suppress his own power level. Now, all of a sudden, Cell drops off of the radar, and that made everyone a bit more concerned. Along with Midoriya. Midoriya could not even try sensing a power level in the first place, and the fact that he disappeared made him just more worried. Now, with all of that being said, Hasashi and Inko, they do come out of the time chamber, and they are happy to see their son is up on his feet. Now, before I do forget, I'm throwing this in just to remind myself. They are currently at the ages of 51 years old. Now, with that, Midoriya actually does decide to head back in the time chamber. But he is stopped this time. Now, whenever he does go to walk in, Momo, Mina, along with Hasashi, Inko, and a few others, actually do stop Midoriya. Basically, everyone who understands Ki. Now, Vados does actually ask Midoriya a few questions. Exactly what does he hope to achieve by heading back inside? Midoriya simply just stating that he hopes to try and master his power. And if he just needs to wait for his body to recover, then he is going to wait. In fact, he can recover faster in here. Now, he then informs them all that he's going in, and if anyone wants to join him, then go ahead. But the next time he fights Cell, he is going to win. And he will not hold back. Now, Midoriya does actually try closing his fist and gritting his teeth, trying to force himself into Super Saiyan. However, nothing is happening. Now, Midoriya just gets enraged at himself that he can't even transform. He's basically as harmless as a puppy to Cell right now. So, he doesn't need to be as harmless anymore. He can finally understand it. Now, nobody steps up to go on the time chamber with Midoriya, except for Momo, and informing Midoriya that he's not going to be doing this alone. Now, both of these two do walk in, as the door closes. Now, with all of that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.